Man's natural state is heaven or leaven. The natural state is to have risen. The unnatural state is to be confined by the lowest of the higher vibrations, thought. Thought. One of the things we often say is, a person will say, well, I didn't think. You say, well, or to yourself even, you did think. You just didn't think the right thing. That is to say, the thought that you had was limiting as opposed to expanded. The awareness that we had was limited as opposed to expanded. Thought narrows your focus. That is, the lower vibrational thought. Now we've talked about the higher vibrational frequencies are frequencies that you can only be. And that brings you to what is natural within yourself. The natural leaven or heaven, or that natural place where you don't have to really make certain decisions. Those decisions are already made by the nature of your being. Let us take loyalty to humanity, but yet disassociation from humanity. Loyalty to humanity is to be the best that you can be. Because what we're talking about here, we're not talking about your interactions with other human beings. That is a byproduct of having risen. What we're talking about is the collective thought of mankind. That is where the balances must be thrown. But it is a place that cannot be seen readily by man. It can be affected, but it can only be affected by the kind of thought that you hold, the kind of activity that you hold within your being. It can only be affected by those. You will find yourself becoming more and more detached from your fellow man. That must be okay, because you were never attached to him anyway. You just thought you were. And in thinking that you were, you allowed yourself to be manipulated by the thoughts of others, of what you thought the thoughts of others may be. Whether that be your parents. That begins with your parents, yes, because they want you to behave like they want you to behave. Well, that's okay, I suppose, but at the same time, the child is being conditioned not to be its own thinker. And that is a reason, there's a good reason for that, because if you usually allow them their own way, they won't make it to adulthood because of the decisions that they make. So it's all good. It's just that ultimately that has to stop. Simply because you were told at 2 years old, never cross the street. You're 42 years old. It no longer applies. Because you're now old enough and understand enough so that you will watch out for the cars, hopefully. Not all of us do, but we should. So you're coming to a point where you're seeing the difference. You're seeing generally people are out of control. What do? You progress toward that which is greater. That is bringing yourself to a point within yourself where you really can't help but do the right thing, because that is your base. That is where you have come to. You've come to being clean. You take your responsibilities. We like to say, I have a right to my opinion. And I also like to say, yes, but you have a responsibility to the truth. It's as simple as that. Okay. Having a right to an opinion, and just having that right to an opinion, is really an irresponsible act, because we have a right to the opinion. Is the opinion right or wrong? Is it correct or incorrect? We have a responsibility to ourselves to go toward that which is correct, to do the best toward ourselves, our society, and our world. And we can only do that when we are correct. Only then. So to widen the gap between us and our fellow man is also to do the best for ourselves and all of humanity. I look at the religions of the world. Not to say that those who were the original in the religion were wrong, because generally they were correct, and generally they formed no religion. It is the people who came after them. And I look at the foolishness, the ways in which we believe simply because that's what we want to believe. And most of our beliefs just sit in the air with no responsibility toward truth. None. Generally, that is very ignorant to deny truth. We have religions that deny other human beings their rights as human beings. And they justify that. How can this be? If they but stop and look. Oh no, we can't do that. It takes a specialness within a person to step away from the pack. I don't mean now in rebelliousness. We are not rebelling against. We're simply going and they stay. We're simply going toward the truth. And they stay where they are. So it is not a rebelliousness. We're not talking rebellion, because rebellion would be for the wrong reason. I simply want to know, so the gap widens. It takes specialness because that takes courage. It takes courage to be correct when all others are incorrect, when the mass around us is incorrect. It takes courage to stand up and say, no. Most of our lives, others in one way or another have determined who we are. Who we are. Parents, initially. They fill our heads with ideas. Some of them good, some of them not so good. I believe Freud coined the phrase superego. Okay. It's your mother and your father speaking in your ear. We all come to the point, the older we get, we look at some point and say, oh my God, I opened my mouth and my mother spoke. Or I opened my mouth and my father spoke. Well, sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's not so good. It is not so good when it is an automatic response. It is good when it is something that I have seen for myself, and as a free-thinking individual, I can now say this. But that is the first determination of someone else determining who we are. And if you ask many of these people, why? I just believe it. Ah, you just believe it. That's not real smart. Belief implies non-belief. You must know, and there's only one way to know. Only one way that will make that change. This is the courage that it takes. The absolute courage to stand alone. To be the seeker, the warrior, no less, the pathfinder. This is how we show loyalty to humanity. Most people don't want you to show loyalty to humanity. They want you to show loyalty to family, religion, society, skin color, what other kinds of things? Sex, politically. They want you to show loyalty to these things. And when we begin to show loyalty to these things, we do not show loyalty to the truth. These things make us stupid. I see people calling things that are not racist, racist. I see people calling things that are not sexist, sexist. I see people calling one political idea either liberal or conservative, or an idea is neither liberal or conservative when it is directed toward the solution to a problem. It's a solution to the problem. It's right wing or left wing. What does all that mean? Where is the truth? The truth is neither right wing nor left wing. It is simply true. So the courage within oneself to stand, that's what makes you different. That's what makes you unique. That is what makes you you. It takes no courage to just go along with the pack. I've seen so many people in my life to have others take advantage of them simply because they are vulnerable or they don't know who they are. Go to any bar or any pickup place, any gym. Where? Grocery store. Okay. Any pickup place. And listen to the raps. Listen to everyone having their hook with their little worm on it. And some poor little, what do you call that fish? No, the one that bites. That one? Sucker, I think they're called. Take a bite. When, if you are who you are, you see them coming. And the answer is no. You gain respect as a human being when you stand. Someone said, show me a person who stands for nothing, and I'll show you a person who will fall for anything. And that is true. True. I have no bias. That is my bias. I'm biased towards the truth. And to be biased towards the truth, you cannot be biased toward that which is not true. That is true. But that is what I stand for. And it does not matter who will try and influence me another way. No, it doesn't matter, because it's not about that. It is about my commitment to that which is true. To that which is true. If I commit something to you, then he comes along and says, well, come on, let's go over here. Well, why would he want me to come go over there with him if I break my commitment to him? I'm telling him the kind of person I am. I will say, no, I have got to do this. Now, we can do that, yeah, but I have committed. It is not about commitment to a person. It is about commitment to commitment. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is about loyalty to that quality within us. That quality that is naturally there when we clear away all the debris. When we clear it away, you say, oh, this is a person, another person who clears it away. Let us make that clear. Said, ah, this is a person of value. This is a person of substance. If you want respect, even of the stupid, you must stand, you must be loyal to those things. And even the stupid will say someday, duh, wow. Loyalty to what? Loyalty. Some people will say loyalty to God. I will say loyalty to those things that exist within God and within yourself. Okay? And within yourself. You commit to that. You commit to that which is true. Here's where truth is. People will say, you cannot show me truth. That is true. I just showed you the truth. That is true. I cannot show it to you because it does not exist separate and apart from the individual. When we begin to talk about relativity, we're not talking about that which can be true within the individual. We're talking about something that is relative to a system. That system can be your system of beliefs. That system can be your position in relationship to what you see. You cannot see 360 degrees around another person or a group of people. So what appears to be one way on one side, appears to be another way on another side. So you can only say what you saw. Okay? This is what I saw relative to my system. But when you begin to look inside, you can say that which is true, because that is where you find that which is true. That is where you find that which never wavers. That is where you find it. And in the past, we've talked about all the disciplines that it takes to arrive. We've talked about discipline, focus. We've talked of all these things. So those things are there. You have to put this whole package together. You have to become comfortable with this package. A person has to be comfortable with loyalty, not to people, but to that which is true. And that's hard. People always want you, as someone once said to me, "Oh, I thought you were together." And I said, well, if that together means being together with you in what you think, I am not together. I am together in here. I am whole, which means I determine what I will do and what I won't do. What you want me to do is to join you in gay bashing, emotional gay bashing, and I won't do that. No, I'm afraid I won't do that because that's not correct. We know. It is like the story of the ATF and all these people who've been going to these racist groups and racing and raping women and carrying on, taking drugs at their picnics for 15 years. But yet, nobody in charge. Oh, it's the first I've heard of it. You see, you know what is true within your system. Here are people not looking at the truth. You know, they're at the picnic. There's this big sign that says "nigger checkpoint." This is ATF, FBI, and then we say, "Oh, there's no racism within these groups. There's no racism within the political structure. The police wouldn't possibly frame OJ." Well, I'm not saying they did or did not, but I'm saying, let us look. Certainly the implication is there, isn't it? Certainly the implication. When you have law enforcement officials, this is an annual picnic, to look within the structure and know that which is true. That is the point. That is where you will find truth, within the structure. What does your heart really tell you? I know it told me for years. I just didn't want to accept it. Excuse me, but you're not getting along. Hello? You are not getting along. Either they are different or you are different. But something is wrong here. Well, let us debate this point. You did so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. Well, no, I didn't do that. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Is this where I want to fit? Seems to me like square pegs and round holes. Seems like that to me. I don't know which is square and which is round, but I do know they don't fit. We start to look for the truth. Does the truth now say, okay, I accept. This is what I want. Now let me move on. And moving on, I sever whatever expectation. I see what is done, but yet I am detached from what they as a group do. But yet, I can be pleasant. I can say hello and goodbye with a smile. I can say, bye, see you. It's okay. And move slowly away. Because what I am after, what I truly want to know, what my heart cries for above all other things, is the truth. So I am loyal to that. I do not know why we must be loyal to shadows. This I don't know. This makes no sense. Because in the light, when the light is directly overhead, there is no shadow. Only when the light is off skew or askew is there shadow. Loyalty to what? What am I loyal to? Am I loyal to those who look like me? Am I loyal to those my height, my weight? Am I loyal to those who play music? Am I loyal to those who play sport? Am I loyal to those who play chess? And those are only one aspect of a character. And when you watch the whole character, you decide, is this who and what I want in my life? And if I am looking for truth, I say, you ultimately find there is only one truth seeker in your life. Yeah, that's you. That's you.